for the Nintendo Game Boy. Now, they didn't call it the Game Boy Original because it was the first. Although I think with these subsequent iterations, it might have been nice to retcon it a bit. But the palette swaps for this game are kind of funky. I went ahead and went with the basic orange, since it kind of looks like sepia tone. Brings back classic memories. And there's not really that much to explain in this game. I'll kind of explain it as I go along, of course, but let me go ahead and make sure I'm all set here on one more thing. We'll get started. There we go. Okay. We are ready to go. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So this game has 7 stages, and each stage has its own kind of gimmick, in a way. That was our first boss. You start as Daffy Duck, and each one of the 7 stages has its own character it features. First thing you'll notice here is that you can actually carry your momentum across screens. If you, this goes for pretty much every level that involves platforming, which is most of them. You can carry your momentum if you don't let go of the arrow key, or arrow key, I'm talking like a PC gamer now. If you don't let go of the D-pad, and you just keep going in the direction you're facing, then you'll preserve your momentum. Just make sure you don't hit any enemies or run into any walls. And you'll see that a few times in the run. There are some spots in Stage 5 and Stage 7 that it can be done. Aw, man. Ooh, that's bad. Alright, we can recover.
I love how cute this game is. The style is so cute!
It is absolutely adorable, I agree. And you can tell that the effort poured into it was heartfelt, because, you know, it just has so much charm. You know, a very few people were involved in the making of this game. They had one person for music, one person for graphics, and I am stuck right here. Okay. And one programmer, just a skeleton crew, really. And it's amazing that they did this much with it. It just has, as you said, so much charm.
Yeah, it's like a passionate project.
Perfect
until I
fight.
watch the show itself.
Right.
I really like how Elmer Fudd was sitting there underwater waiting for you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's got some determination.
Indeed. And so, next stage is Tweety's. Once again, we have to use momentum right here. Let's see if we can get it first try. Nope, we went the wrong direction. Okay, we're gonna have to try this again. Wrong direction again. Alright, we got it this time. There we go. Okay, so we just picked up a little bit of speed from those baseballs. Ideally, you would do it a lot faster than that. The only thing that can hurt you in this stage is Sylvester himself, as he chases after you. Can kind of do this to gain a little bit of extra speed. Of course, the task does that, but it's not very RTA viable, so I don't usually do it in PB runs. Just hop on his nose a bit. So once again, if you don't run into any walls or get caught or let go of the right arrow here, you will continue to run full speed, or fly full speed as it might be. Unfortunately, those bats are RNG, so I couldn't really do much about that. Fortunately, we're right here at the end. We just have to outsmart Sylvester a little bit there and dodge him to grab the bird seed to end the stage. Coming up here is Porky's stage, and he is an auto-scroller, so you can go ahead and take the next 30 seconds or so to stand up, stretch, get a drink, whatever you need to do. Because you don't need to move until the timer...
Who's everyone's favorite Looney Tunes character, though?
Indeed. You don't need to move until the timer hits 286 or so, or 266. So we're just kind of chilling here. This stage is surprisingly reminiscent, for many reasons, of the final stage in Super Mario Land, the original. Especially because of the the bullet patterns that the UFOs have, and also the bombs. Because they'll shoot once here and then shoot behind you as well. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little damage here and die on purpose, just so I can make sure we're at full health for the boss. And these bombs take 8 hits to destroy, and they give you 200 points. That's identical to the bombs in Super Mario Land, which is pretty uncanny in my opinion. Anyway, it's mashing time. Nice. Alright. Fortunately, the next level gives me plenty of time to stretch out and relax after mashing. And you'll see why in just a second, because it is a bonus stage with a timer. You can't end it any faster than this timer. So for the next 55 seconds or so, we'll have absolutely nothing to do. So enjoy the tunes.
How about we talk about some incentives a little, though?
Perfect opportunity.
Just about to do that. So we're still looking for $49 in terms of getting Freedom Planet run with the Guitar Hero controller. That seems like it would be a very, very cool run, and I would love to see it. So let's get some donations towards that. Just towards the extra stage on Nezumi Man. And don't forget, with every donation, you're getting entered into the raffle to win some great prizes. So helping us helps you. And the pandas, of course.
And just so you can see how the stage kind of works, I'm gonna go ahead and go left and right a little bit. So you're supposed to break these blocks and get all the meat. There are 65 meats on this level, if I recall correctly. But the fewer you grab, the less time it takes to count down at the end, so it's actually faster not to collect any meat. Now the game actually gets hard. So right here, I have to very briefly tap A to gain just enough height for his invincibility frames to wear off without actually hitting the spikes at the ceiling. What I tried to do right there is a little momentum glitch that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Hold on. Didn't make it. If you hop on that ghost, sometimes it can screw you up. And that's what happened there. But that's fine. Alright, let's try that again. Fortunately, a game over does not send you back to the very first stage, as is common with a lot of early Game Boy games. So at least the devs were kind in that regard. Also, that was the perfect frog fight. I have never done that well on that frog. That gave me excellent RNG. I have a little bit of auto-scroller here, but if I pull off this skip right, we'll be able to save about 8 or 9 seconds off of it. It involves the dance mechanic, which you never really use outside of this application, because it's very slow. We didn't quite get it. So if I'd done that right, we would have been about a pixel or two further to the right, and we would have just fallen right through the wall. However, if you go too far to the right, you actually soft lock the stage, so I did not want to do that in a marathon run. Better safe than sorry. At least you got to see how it works, though. And pick up a little boost from this slope, and we fight Dracula for some reason. Perfect fight. Let's go. You try to grab the collectible as close to the ending spot on this stage clear screen as possible, so there's less time to wait for it to scroll. Now we're on to the Roadrunner stage, which has a dedicated taunt button. It's almost a decade ahead of its time as far as Smash is concerned. Just press B to stick out your tongue behind you. And most of this stage is comprised of the boss fight, which is Wile E. Coyote. Chicka 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 jump.
Those are pretty decent decent amount of variety in this
Here
game.
we go. Yeah, it's short and sweet, but it sure is packed. Perfect fight. Man, aside from the first two stages, I've been knocking it out of the park so far. That's actually almost a task level fight there. And really, if you don't have the pacing right for that fight, it can get really hectic and really difficult. So, final stage here, sometimes you get hit by that ghost, sometimes you don't. Unfortunately, that time I did. Here's our first really tough skip. Too early, yep. Oh well. I'll see if I can still pull this off. No, I can't. Alright, dying in this hallway is perfectly, it's to be expected, really. No harm, no foul. So here's the boss rush. We've never seen this boss before. And there's another boss later on that we've never seen either. And here's what he does usually. He jumps up high and kind of booty slams a bit. And causes your day to get messed up. And you can't jump while you're shaking on the ground. Now for this guy, let's see if I can get this right. Perfect. Alright, once again, that guy is actually the hardest to deal with. You want to separate him from the boulder he's carrying. If you can do that, he'll continuously walk toward the boulder as you stomp on his head and kill him. Head stomps. Oh man, didn't get the momentum boost there, unfortunately, but you can see how it works, at least. Final fight. This fight is really nasty.
That was an intense boss rush.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that head stomps deal 1 damage, and the frisbee deals, or no, head stomps deal 2 damage, and frisbee deals 1. Get right on time. Sorry for the short notice, but that was the fight, and that was the game.
Great run.
Thank you much.
What's your PB on that?
My PB
Yeah,
is
that was fast.
10 minutes 50 seconds, and current record is 10 minutes 36 seconds. So there's not much time to save.
Yeah. You got 11:41.
Dang, that's nice. That's better than
Yeah.
any of my D-Rest runs, actually. So that's perfect.
Congrats.
Thank you. So, how are we doing on time right now?
We are technically 7 minutes behind schedule, but if you've got something cool that you want to show off, you can definitely do that while the other runner's getting set up.
Alright, well, there's not that much more to the game, really. It's just, the excruciatingly slow credits and, a splash screen at the end illustrating that, Sunsoft designed the game, which is true. Sunsoft is the company behind this. And it's easily one of the best Game Boy games out there. I'm surprised that not more people know about it and or have played it. And that splash screen says that that's all, folks. So that's and also, can we note take a quick note for a second about how horrible the demo player is at this game? Like he's just
Clearly not as good as you.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's a given, but I mean, at least he couldn't almost die at the end of each 10-second demo reel. I mean, that would kind of help, but it is what it is. They're the credits rolls. Also to note here is that you never see Foghorn Leghorn or Pepe Le Pew in the game, but you see him here in the title, in the end screen. So that, alongside the 2 mini-bosses that we never see outside of the mini-boss rush, lead me to think that there were probably extra stages planned that they never got around to making. Or perhaps they ran out of money, ran out of time, ran out of space on the cart. You never know. It's one of those mysteries lost to time. So with that, I am willing to turn it over to the next runner and the next game. I hope to see you all again in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, with 102 Dalmatians, and that's gonna be it.
Aren't you back in like half an hour?
Oh, well, let me check the schedule, actually. I don't
Pretty
remember, I
sure
know...
you're back in like half an hour.
Let's see, oh, yeah.
Well, while we settle that out, guys, I'm gonna get the next stream set up.
Yep, for sure.